Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice. We are about to play the legendary BECMI rule set for Keep on the Borderlands. I'm so excited about this. We've been talking about it for a long time now. Bill has been so kind to offer to run it for us. And so I'm just going to kick it over to him and let him run the show.
I am going to try not to kill them in character creation, but it's going to be hard. No, I'm kidding. So today, first of all, I apologize for the echo. I am not in my normal studio. As you can tell, I'm in prison. Killed my last party. No, I'm dog sitting. It's a long story. But anyway, I think that today we're really just going to run through session 0. I'm going to tell you really how I run my game, and I'm going to ask you how you like to play your game. We're going to walk through character creation. You're going to have a couple options in terms of character creation. We're going to end up we're going to see what we end up with, and then we're going to kind of talk through how you all came together. I think that's pretty much what we're going to, what I was planning for today. I don't know that we'll get to any actual gameplay today. I think that's probably going to be next session. This is really just going to really encompass the session 0 and character creation. So let me kick it off with, first of all, right? This is your father's D&D, right? Like, what I'm saying is, this is not, you are not superheroes. You were not intended to be superheroes. You are rat catchers. You are one step up from farmers. That's what you are. That's not to say that that's what you're going to be forever, but I'm saying that's particular, that is how you start. That's why we roll 3d6. That's why we roll 3d6 in a row. And that's why you don't necessarily have superhuman abilities that you might find in games like PF2E or 5e, right? And not that there's anything wrong with that. I think it's just a different style of game. So what I would encourage you to do, right, is to let go of that. Let go of the idea that you're a superhero, and embrace the idea that you're a farmer, right? Or you're a blacksmith's assistant, or you're a rat catcher, or you're legitimately one step up from a serf, if not actually a serf, right? That's who you are. And you have decided to throw off the shackles of that society, of that particular lifestyle, and you've decided that better to go face death and destruction in the multitude of tombs and different ruins that surround the area than to ever shovel shit for anyone ever again in your life, right? Like, that is your thing, right? I'd rather be dead than do that anymore. It's kind of the mindset that you need to embrace. That's who you are. Second thing, right? And since we're doing sort of session 0, here's the other thing. When we're talking about PF2E and when we're talking about 5e, we generally are talking about a balanced game, right? And by a balanced game, I mean that the monster's powers and efficacy are generally balanced with the player's powers and efficacy. Meaning, at first level, you're probably going to face something that is, also first level and has about the same power. Moreover, party composition. The sorcerer is going to be about as powerful as the fighter, who's going to be about as powerful as the bard, who's going to be about as powerful as, so on and so forth. That concept doesn't exist in this game, right? For better or for worse, I'm saying I enjoy it. Not everybody enjoys it. I'm just saying to be ready for that, right? And I tell you that for 2 reasons. I tell you that, one, because if you roll up a magic user, if you roll 3d6 down the line and intelligence is your biggest attribute, you might want to consider choosing a magic user, because you're going to get a kick to experience points because it's your prime requisite. But I'm telling you, your first level magic user is going to get crushed, right? Like, he's going to get wrecked out the gate if you think that you're going into a balanced encounter. However, to make up for that, when you hit 9th or 10th level, if that magic user survives, he's going to be the most powerful thing in the game, right? Like, that idea of balance isn't necessarily there, but that's sort of what makes it fun, right? Like, it's the challenge. It's legitimately the challenge. Likewise for monsters. Here's the thing. There is no balanced encounter. Like there's no CR rating in BECMI or basic, right? If you come upon a wandering monster, right? If you end up traveling to and from wherever it is that you're headed, and you come upon a wandering monster, like that gets rolled on a table, and that table ain't balanced. And like what I'm saying is, survival is the better part of valor. You can run, right? You can and should run on many occasions. This isn't, and the only reason that I'm telling you this is, I think that 5e and PF2e are very balanced systems, and so it's in your mind, specifically if you play that game a lot and all the time, you're thinking that every encounter that you come across, you're supposed to fight your way through, right? Because it's balanced. The DM would never throw me up against something that I couldn't handle. I'm here to tell you right now, dice rolls are sacred. A big part of this game, a massive part of this game, is tables, right? These are not, the randomness is what gives this its charm, right? So these are not preset encounters that I have crafted and created and perfectly balanced so that I know that you can survive. Quite frankly, there are going to be a lot of encounters that you're going to come across.
Do DMs do that? Because I don't do that.
specifically in the beginning, that are going to be way out of balance and not in your favor, right? Like you might want to run. You don't have to fight everything.
I want that XP, bro. I want that XP.
So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, and that's sort of the slam against old school, is that killing things gives you XP. Yeah, you're right, it does. But also, gold pieces give you XP, right? Loot gives you XP, and you don't have to kill things. You don't have to kill things to get loot, right?
It does.
I didn't know that.
You can
This is new.
You can sneak your way around and or behind things, still get loot, still get XP, but you don't necessarily have to kill things, right? And the reason that there's an XP value assigned to specific monsters is because if you killed it, hey, good for you. You deserve that loot. You might want to run. All I'm saying is there is no shame in running away, especially at low levels. So
we were just tonight watching the old 80s D&D cartoon with our kids, and there was one point where we said, I hate this show. All they ever do is run away because it's old school D&D and they can't do anything, so they just run away.
It's true.
I told them
I'm
that
fully prepared. I'm fully prepared to take off running.
Yep, it's super. It's really true. So the third thing that I want to get across to you, I'm trying to reinforce these things because I know most of the people that are playing are used to playing new school games as opposed to old school games, right? So the third thing that I want to get across to you is this. You're not going to have a skill tree, right? That says, hey, I can do this and I can do that. I'm good at bartering, or I'm fantastic at nature, or you're not. And that doesn't mean that you can't do those things. Don't feel that because you don't have something written down on your character sheet that you can't do a specific action.
Right.
Think of it actually the other way. Think of it as freeing, because I'm not confined to 3 separate actions. I can do anything, right? Mm-hmm. So in BX, in BECMI specifically, it came out in the expert set, the Zeb Cook expert set, was something that they called the roll under mechanic. And the roll under mechanic is genius, and I love it, and it's my favorite part of this system, right? It makes stats actually mean something. And I mean the number, not the modifier. It makes the number mean something. So we'll take our 5e game, for instance, the other night. Let's say Pike wanted to grab a grappling hook and he wanted to, latch it onto the dragon and sort of ride along with this thing and try to take it down, which was epic and awesome, right?
Yes.
It's not that he can't do that in BECMI. He can. It's just the rolls would be different. So, for example, instead of rolling an athletics check, right, a Pike would roll either against, initially he would roll under his dex. So whatever your dex is, roll a d20. If you get under your dex, you did it, Pike. If you get over your dex, you're screwed, right? That makes your ability score matters, because the higher the ability score, your better chance of success, because you're rolling under, right? So the higher the number, the larger your percentages. You have a 5% chance for each point, right? Like, so it makes ability scores matter, but it also opens up the game, and it opens up possibilities to characters that might, not necessarily felt that they were able to do that before. I like it, and I think it makes sense, because realistically, in the world, whether it's a fantasy world or the real world or whatever game world that you're playing in, people are not confined or defined by 3 things that they can do, right? Like by 3 skills they could do. You have a shot to do anything, right? Like you could legitimately do anything. It's just going to be based on your ability scores, your stats, as to whether you're going to be able to achieve that or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
that sounds like what I was trying to tell him the other night when he
I'm
was
fine with
like,
that. I don't have a problem with that.
Yep. So don't think like, I can't do anything. Like you can actually, it's freeing. You can do anything, right? Like you are, the only limit in this game is essentially your imagination, your creativity, right? So embrace that.
So what happens if you roll on the stats? So say your score is a 16, you roll a 16. Is that a success or a fail?
On or under. So
on or under.
On or under. Yeah, right. So and then depending on the difficulty, like I may assign a modifier to that, right? Like so
-2.
So
or +2.
No, a +2, right? Exactly. Add 2 to your roll, that sort of thing. The other thing that I want to address is Thacko. So here's the thing: we had this discussion about Thacko the other day
for 25 minutes.
You don't have to worry about Thacko at all. Like what I'm saying is, all you're gonna tell me is your number on the die that you rolled plus whatever your modifier is. I'm gonna tell you if you hit or not, right? Like it's don't worry about it.
Wait, so you're gonna do this like new school games?
No,
it's not. I'm still playing Thacko.
I almost had some extra time earlier today at work, and I thought about making him a little like plug and play on Excel, so he could just enter the number, hit the button, and it would tell him what the AC was.
Yeah. And I'm looking at you now, Juice. Don't even worry about it. You don't have to sweat.
I'm not worried about it. I'm good.
But if you want to know, if you start to get curious, ask me at any time, and I will tell you. I'll tell you how I derived at that number. It is super easy. I'm telling you, it is super, super easy. Okay. It is your 2-hit armor class. It is your 2-hit armor class 0 minus the armor class, whatever the armor class is. That's the magic number. So you roll your number, you add whatever your modifier is, you tell me what that is. If it's better than the 2-hit armor class 0 minus the armor class, you hit. If not, you didn't. It's not hard. It's no different than new school. It's just the other way around. It's subtraction instead of addition, but it's still 2nd grade math. It's not hard. Like it's not.
The math isn't the hard part.
You're working on subtraction with Caleb during the day.
There you go.
You him homeschooling. You could work
doing
on
the math isn't
that
hard.
time.
It's the series of numbers. It's just not intuitive to me for a quick how it works in my head. That's all.
Okay.
Oh man,
for playing. It's okay.
So
we went over this the other night. It's Paula's fault. She screwed up my wiring. Bill said it.
Those are kind of the 4 things that I want. Those are the 4 things that I make clear to any new school player before they begin to play an old school game, because there's some big differences there. The next thing that we want, since we're going to be really doing character creation today, the next thing that I want to talk about is this. So here's the thing, right? I understand, and it's always been this way. Don't think that like these are special rules just for you. Like even when we played back in the day, back in the 80s, right? Like if you wanted to be a particular character, nobody said you couldn't. In other words, man, I really have my heart set on a thief, right? If you roll 3d6 down the line, you might not end up with dex as your highest, right? So you can't necessarily be a thief. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't be in your best interest. So this is the way that I've been doing it for years. You can roll 3d6 down the line, roll 3d6, just 3d6, and you can assign those numbers wherever you'd like. Meaning, If you want to be a fighter, assign it to strength. If you want to be elf, assign your 2 highest to strength and intelligence. So you can assign them anywhere you'd like to make the character that you would like to build. If, however, you don't want to roll 3d6, you're sort of saying, well, I'm not going to get high enough stats on that. You can roll 4d6, drop the lowest, but you have to do that in order. So in other words, if you roll 3d6, you can put them in whatever slot you'd like. If you roll 4d6, they have to be in order. So those are going to be your 2 choices.
I'm going option 3, 3d6.
I'm ready to hear objections and or complaints. Hold on, let me get my trash can.
He's like, where's
Let
the
me turn
mute
off the audio
all?
on my computer. All right, go. I can't hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think that's pretty fair.
No, I think all of it
pretty
sounds
fun.
straightforward. It sounds like what I expected.
Yep.
You know.
Okay. Next thing, hit points. By rules, you are supposed to roll.
Look at this rules lawyer over here.
You are supposed to roll for your hit points.
This sounds like a lot of rules, Bill.
No, they're
You
actually
know,
not. There's actually, Paula, I sent it to you. It's 1 page. Your character creation is on 1 page. You are supposed to roll for hit points. Here's what I'll say. Nobody ever in the history of ever rolls for hit points at first level. You can certainly take max hit points at first level. Here is what I will say.
That's new to me. What about you, Paul?
Everybody that's playing is getting a special commemorative t-shirt. If, however, you roll 3d6 and you choose to assign them in order as opposed to where you want, so you do 3d6 straight down the line and you roll for hit points, you get a super, super special commemorative t-shirt. So
I'm all in for the commemorative prizes.
My camera's going to be on my dice. You'll see.
The last thing that I want to talk about is alignment, because alignment is a lot different in basic and BECMI than it is in AD&D or 5e or PF2e. There is no good or evil assignment, meaning there's only 3 alignment choices that you can choose: lawful, neutral, or chaotic. Now notice there is no assumption or assignment of good or evil to those, right? So the game does not assume, and I love this, I wish they would push back. The game does not assume that your character is good or evil. The game just needs to know, are you a person that follows the rules, or are you a person that breaks the rules? Or are you a person that doesn't care? Right? Like that. And whether that is good or evil, that's on you to play out. That's on you to role play and act out. The game doesn't assume to tell you that you're evil or good. It simply says, are you lawful or are you chaotic? And chaotic, although most monsters will tend to be chaotic, doesn't necessarily mean because they're evil. It simply means because they are not following the laws as established by, the standing governmental body, right? So think about that when you pick your alignment. If you choose to be chaotic, I guess is what I'm saying, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're an evil being, right? But if you choose to be lawful, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good being, right? It's simply, it's more how you view society and less about, what kind of person you are. So the reason I say that is because alignment actually gives you a bit of a benefit, which I think is stupid, and we kind of never played with, but we're going to try to stick to rules as written as well as we can. Alignment will actually give you an additional language. Here's the thing. If you are lawful, you can secretly speak with other lawful people, and those that are not lawful won't understand it. If you're chaotic, you can secretly speak with other chaotic people in a language that a lawful and neutral people will not understand. Think of it like a series of hand signals, and kind of like if you were a Freemason or something, and how they have a sort of set of hand signals to recognize each other when they meet on the street. It's something. Think of it along those lines, but it it's a pretty big choice because your alignment is going to give you that additional alignment language, which is super important because you need to understand, even if you only speak common, you can speak with every lawful creature, no matter what language they're speaking, or every neutral creature or every chaotic creature, no matter the language. You can speak to them through this rudimentary system of signals. So that's why that's why it's a pretty big choice for you. Think about it.
You don't like that rule.
I don't care for it either, right? Like I don't care for it either. And we generally didn't play with it.
It seems a little odd, but yeah.
We generally did not play with it back in the day, but I'm going to try to give you as close to a rules as written experience as I possibly can, so that you can really get a feel, and so that the viewers can get a feel of what, a real old school game, how it's run, right? So
TPK first session.
No. So yeah, keep that in mind as you go through and create your characters. And then the final thing that I'm going to tell you is, right? So here's the thing. In most new school games, it doesn't matter when you eat, or if you have rations or water or arrows or a tinder box or no. Like you're
talking about by the rules, or are you talking about how people run it?
You are tracking that like you're an accountant because you're tracking it because your life depends on it, because it does, right?
So
like,
how do arrows work? Every other arrow you can retrieve, or none?
No, you don't get to retrieve any arrows. Right. Yeah, like there is no arrow retrieval. Yeah, right. So you're tracking your food, you're tracking your water, you're tracking your usable ammunition. You're also worrying about your weight, because encumbrance is also a thing, right? Which is going to be based on your strength score. But
so Peter's going to be great at this.
So you're not going to be able to carry 20. This isn't Skyrim, right? Where you have 379 iron arrows and 492 steel arrows and 27,000 septums. Yeah, right.
I was going to pick up every fork and bowl and spoon I could.
Right. So I think those are kind of the points. I think those are the points that I just wanted to really just touch on really quickly. And really, I'm only touching on the points that are real, that diverge from new school gaming.
What about death?
Well, yeah. Okay.
That's a
death.
big one.
Good for you. Okay. So death, there's no such thing. I don't know what a death saving throw is, right? Like to me, that's foreign. I don't like when you hit 0 hit points, and I don't mean when you hit negative, like if you have 14 hit points and you hit negative 14, you're dead. No, I mean if you have 14 hit points and you hit 0, like not -1, not -3. When you hit 0, you're dead, and that's it. You're dead. There's no death saving throw. You're not coming back, right? You could realistically, there is a resurrection spell that does exist in the basic system, but you are not going to have enough friends and or money and or resources to ever get that. So forget it. Like what I'm saying,
that's like a 12th level thing,
right?
Like once you're like, I'm 14th level and I have 10,000 gold. Yeah, I can.
And your life's not worth that, Paula.
When you die,
I mean, your character
die. I mean, that's just like that's just it. Death is a part of the game, right? Death is what makes it a challenge. Death is what like the possibility of death is what makes it exciting. And if you don't feel that way, this ain't the game for you. I'm just gonna say right now. I'm just gonna say it's
I
not.
I can't wait to see people's faces when they die.
That is not a good thing. I'm not making a judgment. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying I like this game because of that, because it's exciting. Not everybody finds it exciting or challenging, and if you don't, then you probably don't want to play this game. So
yeah, but see, the bonus part is that it only takes you like 10 minutes to make a character, so
and
you'll be off with a new character.
Oh wait,
Paula, you're gonna like
one more thing. Oh man, I forgot to mention this. Okay, so also when you die, right, you certainly can roll up a new character, or you can have one of your retainers, your torchbearers, essentially, you can take over that person, right? But you realize, let's say you're 4th level and we're almost at the end of the campaign and you die.
You're gonna start at first level,
you
are
come back
you?
at first level. Like that's, you just do, right? Like that's the game. Like that's the game.
I can't wait.
Now I'm going to tell you the pros and the cons. Here's the pro to that. You're going to level up because you level up based on experience. You're a first level character and you're facing fourth level creatures and you have your party to protect you. You're going to level up in 2 sessions. You're going to be back to the level that you were, like legitimately. But you got to survive those 2 sessions, right? Like, so you better hope that you're not chaotic and that your party doesn't hate you and you're not like, acting like, I guess is what I'm saying is it's not as hard as you would think. You'll level up really quickly because you're going to get experience points. You're going to be accumulating experience points at a 4th level rate as at first level, which is going to put you back to your old level really quickly. But it is what it is. So, Oh, and here's the one thing, and this is in the rules. You can, at character creation, and I would suggest that you do this, right? You can create 2 characters, meaning you can roll up 2 characters and you can bequeath. You can essentially write a will, rules as written, that says upon your death, this person gets my stuff, right? Like, so I guess what I'm saying is if you want to hold on to your magic items, if you want to hold on to whatever you got, you might want to do that. And that's kind of a cheater's way, but it is rules as written. So it's in the rules.
Otherwise, the rest of the party gets it, right?
Well, yeah, or if it's TPK, whoever you fought gets it, right? So yeah. So
interesting. So we're making 2 characters, is what you're saying.
Well, you don't have to. I am not saying you have to, right? I'm saying you can. You can create another character, although that character cannot come with you, right? It's a character that exists somewhere out in the world, and you can bequeath your possessions to that particular person.
Okay.
So,
all right, you guys.
So that's those. Like, are there any other questions about sort of gameplay, or are there any questions? Do you want me to talk a little bit about how I am as a DM? Since we're doing session 0.
Sure.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. I know it sounds like you guys are like, he's an evil DM and he wants to just TPK.
Oh no. I expected like all of this.
No, I don't. I am actually on your side, right? Like it is more fun for me to see you succeed because then, I don't have to worry about walking through character creation and starting the campaign all over again, right? It's actually more fun to see you succeed. I actually enjoy how the story plays out. But with that said, I DM kind of the way that I play. I don't want a cakewalk and I don't want to run a cakewalk. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to be unfair. It simply means that what it comes down to is this. The bottom line is dice rolls are sacred. Dice rolls are absolutely sacred. I will never fudge a dice roll against you, but I will never fudge a dice roll for you, right? It doesn't happen either way. Whatever the dice say, it's what the dice says, right? With that said, I think there are quite a few DMs who fudge dice rolls, and regardless of what players think, DMs fudge dice rolls in the player's favor far more than they fudge dice rolls out of the player's favor, right?
I
agree. what I'm saying is, you have to play smart, and you have to run, and you have to recognize when you can do something and when you can't, because I'm not gonna put training wheels on. If you want to go up against the orc horde of 300, screaming barbarian orcs at first level with 4 character players, I'm going to let you do it, but you're not going to survive. Like, you're going to die. And I'm probably going to laugh when you die because you deserved it.
We're geniuses. We have a high player intelligence. We got this.
Okay.
They're going to die.
Okay. So really my style. So my style in a nutshell is I like to play very narratively. I like to play theater of the mind. I don't like to delve down into, I'm not a tactician at all. Don't particularly care for that style of play. And I hold dice rolls sacred. That's me, right? And so now that I have given you my spiel, I think why don't we talk about any questions that you guys might have about BECMI or this type of game, or the wonderful Dungeons and Dragons module that we're running, B2, the Keep on the Borderlands, which is iconic, and everyone who plays D&D should go through at least once.
Yeah, I don't think I personally have a single question. I've asked them as I've had them. So yeah, I'm good. Everything sounds great to me.
Fantastic.
Anyone else?
Is there anything that and this kind of goes without saying, I understand that nobody really here is a snowflake, and I'm not saying that derogatorily. I'm saying, like, is there any, because here's what I'll say. I tend to run a fairly grimdark game. This is a fairly grimdark module, if run correctly. I guess what I'm saying is there's going to be blood, there's going to be violence, there's going to be gore. Like, there just is, right? Like, that's Keep on the Borderlands. That's old school D&D. Is there an issue with that? Because if there is, I will attempt to censor myself, but it won't be as fun. So yeah.
No.
No,
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. Well,
I mean, the only thing that would be weird or whatever would be any like rape, anything rapey. But other than that, I'm good.
I don't ever have that in my game anyway. So,
and then hopefully not a lot of F-bombs, but that's just because of YouTube.
I'll try. I will try.
Probably more of an issue on my side than Bill's side.
I will try. And yeah,
She
no, I
drops
don't.
a lot of them.
There is no sexual aggression and or violence in my game ever. And if anyone tries to bring it up, then they're kindly asked to leave. So, but there is violence. I mean, it is Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like, so there's, yeah, right.
Let's kill stuff. Let's make it as gory as possible. I'm cool with that.
Exactly.
Makes it
all right. So then I think, honestly, from my perspective, I think that I've said everything that I needed to say in terms of session 0. You guys don't seem to have any particular issues or requests or needs in a session 0. I think that we're kind of agreed that we're all going to have a great time in Keep on the Borderlands. In your first visit, actually, is this everyone's first visit to like the world of Mystara? Has anyone played in Mystara before?
We have.
I've played Keep on the Borderlands.
You have played this before?
Yeah, my brother owns it. Like
we played it.
The
campaign
front
I said that
cover
sucked.
is like 3/4 of the way ripped, down the middle, and because it was like an original, right?
Gotcha.
But
I remember.
I don't remember
some of the caves of chaos.
Yeah, I don't remember anything enough that it's gonna spoil anything that you're gonna say.
Okay, perfect.
I remember one thing, but I won't meta it. It was a specific trap.
So I think here's what I think we should do. I think because we're kind of rolling 3d6, I kind of feel like I want to go. We're rolling 46, but we're still rolling. There's no point by. I actually think that we should go through, and each of you should just roll. Let's roll and get our stats first. Everybody, we'll watch everyone roll.
And the stat order is strength, intelligence, wisdom, dex, con, charisma.
That is correct, sir. Yes.
Okay. What is the stat order?
It's a different.
It's like strength, intelligence, wisdom, dex, con, charisma. I already noticed that because I'm going to screw that up.
It's different. Yeah. Right.
So, I'll get it after a second.
All right. Who wants to be the first victim though? Who wants to roll first?
I kind of do.
Okay. All right.
I'm excited about this. Should
we is it possible for Paula, can you put a camera on your dice to make it super dramatic, or no? Like, are we going to be able to do that, or can you don't have to?
Let me move my my daughter's laminated school schedule.
Nice.
As she shows everyone.
Hold on, I can do it.
Bill, I rolled 3 6s.
Look, I didn't hear any dice roll. I didn't hear any dice roll, Juice.
Oh wait, camera's on it.
Ooh, so I can take this camera. Whoa,
just hold
crazy.
It. Yeah, just hold it in one hand and then roll with the other.
Nice.
Okay,
I'll go last since
can you see it?
I feel like I'm gonna wet my pants in excitement.
I can see it.
This is really bright.
Yeah, it's super bright.
Here, I can turn the lights down a little bit.
Yeah, you got the adjustable lights.
Turn the lights off. There we go.
Baby,
Okay.
when the lights go out.
So that's a 10.
That's good. That's above average.
I agree. So wait, Juice, weren't you rolling first? And also,
I said
Paula,
I'll wait last. I said I'll go last because I'm gonna wet myself with excitement and it'll be more fun.
okay. So Paula, are you gonna go 3d6 down the row?
Yeah, that's what we decided, right?
Well, no, you make that decision. I'm not telling you. So,
We decided, Paula. We all decided.
I believe there were prizes.
So then, so you have a 10 strength.
Yep. So I've got, let's see, 11.
Perfect.
Intelligence.
So that's yep. You have an 11 int.
Ooh, 9.
A 9 wisdom.
It's going good for me, guys.
You better roll something high here, or this is going to be an unplayable
farmer
character. Yeah.
I know. I really am going to be a farmer.
Retiring to the farm.
Ooh, look at that. 7.
7. Yeah. This is really going to be. This is going to be an unplayable character.
Ooh, no, it's not.
12, 14. Yeah, but that's Constitution.
Couldn't that be a dwarf? Oh no, no strength.
No strength. Yeah.
Ooh, I got an 11.
Yeah. Okay. So, Paula, you're done. Sit back. Change your dice out. Let's go, Peter.
All right.
Also,
but I'm done rolling, right?
We actually killed someone in character creation.
Oh, do I have to start over again?
Yes, you're gonna roll all over again. Yes.
Okay. All right.
All right. I mean, I could take pictures and show you the picture, but
No, I totally trust.
I don't think that will be very dramatic. Here we go.
Yeah,
First roll. That is a 9.
Okay, 9 strength.
Can you read my dice, or is that too small?
That is a 6.
6 ints. Jeez, you guys need to do dice. You know what you need to do? You need to pray to the dice gods. So yeah, right.
That is a 7.
A 7 wisdom.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Here we
right.
go.
See, look at our dedication is hurting us so much.
12.
Okay,
Oh,
12
okay.
decks.
Okay. Constitution. There we go. Ooh, 16.
16
Oh.
Constitution.
Charisma. 14.
14. So here's the good news and the bad news. That is a playable character. That is seriously a thief. But like what I'm saying is we can go like what I'm going to give you the option to here's what we'll say. You could re-roll that, right? But whatever you re-roll, you have to keep is what I'm saying. So like in other words, you can keep your character, your thief right now, or if you didn't necessarily want to play a thief, you could, we'll have Juice roll and then we'll have Paula roll. We'll go back around one more time. But what if you choose to go the second time around, you have to keep whatever you get.
I'll stick with what I got.
Okay. So we have Pike the Thief or whatever his name is going to be. So yeah. Juice, what do you got, buddy?
I'm gonna make the greatest character of all time.
Okay.
It's off to a great start.
What do you got?
6, 1 6, 9.
You're so
Oh, you're
dramatic.
rolling.
Oh, boo. 10.
All right, so 10 strength.
Off to a great start. 6, 3, 5. Yes.
So that's
14.
a 14. Yeah, that's a 14 intelligence.
We might have just
thieves.
found our wizard.
Or wait, wizard. My bad.
Yeah.
6.
You did say you wanted to play
9.
a wizard.
Okay, 13.
13,
Hey.
it's not bad.
I'm not being a cleric. 10. Oh, snap.
16.
That's pretty darn good.
You got a
darn
16
good.
a 16 in Dex?
I did. I told
You
you. I'm making the
might
best
you
character.
might have your Dex-based fighter.
2. Oh. Ooh. A 7 con. But that's okay, because I'll just stay away from everybody.
Yeah, you're just you're super skinny, and frail.
5. Ooh, 2. Ooh, 8. So I'm not well liked.
So what? Let me ask you a question. What was your strength?
10.
So here's what I'll say. You could, though, with those numbers, you could actually be an elf. You have an intelligence. You have a high intelligence. You could lower charisma. What'd you end up with with charisma?
An 8.
Oh no,
That's
okay.
my low stat. Well,
I was going to say you could raise because you can lower a score by 2 to raise your prime rec by 1. But
Okay.
honestly, even with a 10 strength and a 14 intelligence, you could go elf, right? You certainly could be an elf. You could be a thief, right? Your dexterity was your highest roll. Or you could, with a 10 strength and a 16 dexterity, you could be that dex-based fighter that you wanted to be.
I'm going to think on it for a second. I'm going to think.
Okay.
I might make it my decision based on what others do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because we got a thief, right? That's what Peter's going to do. Let's see what Paula gets.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, if I were Peter, I would definitely be a thief because dex is his highest score. But yeah.
I think he said that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. I am going to put
All right,
these stats
Paula.
in here. Either way, his name
Okay.
is Sherman Woods.
Coming out big. He can't be Sherman Tank now. His con is so low.
Nope.
Yeah.
Or that's the funny part. He could
All
be
right.
Frank the Tank when it comes to, getting liquored up and running around naked around town.
That's true.
Okay. New strength.
Coming out big, Paula.
14.
Oh, look at that.
We got our fighter. We got our fighter. Yes, Paula.
He's going to be so pumped because I've never played a fighter before. Intelligence.
If you get a high
9.
int, I was going to say, if you get a high int, you could have your elf.
Wisdom. 15.
Oh, you might have your cleric. Hey, clerics in later levels are actually pretty powerful. So yeah.
Dex is a 10. Okay. Constitution. A 10.
This is a good character. You don't have any negatives.
It's
not
Well,
really
you know
about
what?
positive.
Now you just jinxed me. I got
It's-
one stat left, and you're over there everything's fine.
It's
Paula.
charisma. Charisma's the dump stat.
Hey, 12.
There you go. Okay, so far,
That is a
Paula,
well-rounded character.
What'd you get in wisdom, Paula?
that's actually a phenomenal character. In
15.
basic, you're not playing for positive modifiers. You're playing to not get negatives, and you got no negatives, right? And you actually
Right.
do have some positives. So you have some options, Paula, and I'm not kidding, right? Okay, so you could be a fighter, as Juce had suggested. You'd actually make a damn good fighter. You could be a cleric, right? And again, a cleric at first level is really crap because you don't even get any spells, right? A first level cleric you don't get spells as a cleric in basic until second level. So you're basically just a fighter that can only use blunt weapons, but at later levels, clerics are some of the most powerful characters in the game. Like spell wielders are the most powerful characters in the game. So you could be a cleric. You could be an elf if you really wanted to, but with a low int, intelligence is going to affect a lot of your spellcasting ability. And with a 9, I believe I think you're flat. I don't think you have a negative, but I'm going to check right now. So
So you had a 14 in strength, you said?
yeah, she has 14 in strength,
Sure did.
which gives her so intelligence. I just want to see what the prime requisite for elves are. Sorry. Yeah, I know it's intelligence and strength, but I want to see where you get bonus to experience points.
So it's cleric wisdom then?
Yes,
I assume?
cleric is wisdom. Yes.
Hey, Peter, what'd you get for your stats again?
You put them in the chat.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
in
we
the
did?
chat.
Perfect.
So an intelligence score of 9. You don't have a negative, right? But you read and write native languages, usually 2. In terms of your prime requisite, you get no adjustment to experience points.
Yeah, let's go with a cleric.
Okay, perfect.
So we
You're
have a
gonna need it
cleric
anyway.
and we have a thief.
Yep.
So tell me what your wisdom is again?
Mine?
Yeah.
15. So is that the plus 5% to experience for prime requisite?
Yes. So you have +1. You're going to end up with +1 on magic-based saving throws, and you're going to get +5% to earned experience points. Yeah, right.
Okay.
And Juice is going to be mad because, he doesn't like to see other people get a kick to their experience points.
I mean, it doesn't matter if I'm getting a bigger one. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know. So
You could, if you get your wisdom to 16, you're going to get +10% earned experience points, right? So what you can do is you can take 2 points away from another stat, to raise your prime requisite by 1. So taking your 15 to 16 is actually going to get you +10% earned experience points as opposed to +5.
Are you talking to her?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to him. What did you say?
No. He hasn't even decided what he wants to do yet. I'm talking about you. If you kick your wisdom to 16 as opposed to 15, you'll get +10% earned experience points as opposed to
Oh, so you're saying maybe drop my charisma?
I'm saying drop a score but you have to drop it by 2 to raise it by 1. And you can't. So here's the thing: Constitution and charisma cannot be lowered, right? Because they're kind of like things that you're born with. You could lower dexterity, you could lower strength, or you could lower int, whichever one you think. If I'm you, what's your intelligence at right now?
It was a 9, but now it's a 7.
You can't drop it below 9. Don't drop your strength. What is your dex?
10.
10. You can't drop it. You can't do it. Sorry. You can't.
Does that ruin the special 3d6 down the line?
You can't drop below a 9. When you're doing that, you can't drop any score below a 9. So
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, you're gonna be great.
I could be.
Peter, how are you doing? Where are you at?
I don't, because I can't move any of my scores, so it looks like thief it is.
Are you sure? I'm going to offer it to you again if you want to re-roll, because you even your prime requisite is 12, right? You're pretty low. I would say, again, I'm not evil, and I wouldn't even consider that cheating. I would say basically your dex of 12 is the only thing that you've got. I think that your strength was 7, right?
9.
Okay, yeah, right.
Okay.
If I were you, I would say that that character died at birth, and it was stillborn, and you're moving on. So yeah.
All right, okay. I'll roll again then. 3d6 down the line. See what happens. 10. Okay.
That's better.
That's 1 better. $10.
Okay.
$9.
You're gonna end up with this. You were meant to play this character.
9. 15. and 16.
So you're actually worse than you were before.
hmm
Like, I mean, you don't
Well,
have.
you could if you moved them. If
don't
you
have
moved them around, you'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, like, yeah, I would agree.
Just move them around. Make a fighter or something. Move like your 16 to your strength, and
well, because
I don't know.
Again, your 16 is a winning number, right? Because that's, again, you're looking at plus 10% to earned experience points. So the problem is there's no cha-based characters in basic, right? There's no charisma-based characters.
Yeah, I'll just play the first character.
There's
Okay.
no chat.
Okay.
So you are going with the thief then?
Yeah, I'll just go with this. That's fine.
Are you sure you don't? You could move the numbers around on the second character if you'd like, or on
No,
the first.
that's
quite
fine.
frankly.
The dice gods have spoken. They want me to play the first character.
All right.
The dice gods are conflicted on my character.
I like your style. What? What are you going? Okay. Keep in mind.
I have no idea.
Keep in mind we're having at least one more player, maybe two, right?
Right.
And we don't know what they're going to roll either. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. So
here's what I'll say: you can't go wrong with a fighter ever, right?
right. I like the idea of the 1d8 hit points, right? You know, because right now we're a very squishy group.
Well, and
I rolled my hit points. I got a 5.
I guess what I'm saying is, okay, that's good though. Like what I'm saying is that's good. That's not an issue at all. Although what was your constitution? Did you have a negative modifier on con?
Nope.
Then do you have a positive modifier on con? What's your constitution score?
It's 10.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're sitting pretty. So yeah, 5 is great. It's only one lower than what you would normally have. So like you're super got a super playable character.
Got this. Get on my level.
Juice, I would honestly say you could play the dex-based fighter that you wanted to play, and then
that's
hope
what I'm looking at. I am looking at the elf, and I am looking at the thief too. I'm looking at all three of those. I've also looked at cleric. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. See, it's that whole percentage XP thing that has me thinking other things. Dang it. That's the problem.
But that's the point. That's why it's there, Juice.
It's making me second guess what I want to play.
Yep, that's what it's there for.
So HP is...
Cameron says to play an elf.
Play an elf.
What's your int?
Mm-hmm.
10 or 14. Mine's 14.
And what's your strength?
10.
Yeah.
And my dex is 16.
That's
Wisdom
totally
14.
a viable elf. Yeah.
But my con is 7, which is not typically a good.
No, you're gonna have you are gonna have a negative modifier. You're gonna be -1 points, -1 hit point. So,
yeah, I'm gonna be like staying back too. Like,
but that's why I was thinking you could be a dex-based fighter and you're a ranged.
I'm doing
fighter.
it. I'm doing it.
So you're firing your bow and arrow. You know what I mean?
I'm a dex-based fighter. It's happening.
Okay.
It has to happen. This is what I've been saying I was gonna play. I had a feeling it was gonna happen before today.
Just
That's
do
the
it.
gods have spoken.
I'm doing it. Yep.
Okay, so everybody has their stats, and they're all you have them all in order. Did everyone check their modifiers? Are there questions on modifiers?
Oh, actually, I didn't even. I checked and then I totally blocked it out.
Is there a table for modifiers?
No.
So for you, Paula,
It just should be. Is it just regular
it is. No, it's not. It's different. So you're looking at page B7, Paula, because you're not looking at the rule cyclopedia. You're looking at the basic set. So on B7, you will see a table that ranges from 3 through 18 for each of the scores.
Oh, just write down those.
And it's going to give you your modifiers.
Perfect.
Okay. I should roll my hit points.
Honestly, I don't think that you had any negatives, though, Paula. I think you were all.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on record and just let everyone know I rolled a 3 for hit points.
Okay. Which gives you 2.
Cool. 2. No, I didn't mean to make it sound that way. Plus 2 hit points.
Again, you have the option to take full hit points.
No, I do not.
This is
not within me.
hardcore. This is hardcore.
This is
Okay.
how I want to play it. Yep.
You guys are awesome.
We already knew that.
There
tell us
was
something we already
zero
know.
question.
All right. Saving throws are down here. So put in the 1 through 3 saving throws then.
So yeah, that's what. So everyone's rolled their stats. Everyone has their modifiers at this point, and everybody has rolled for hit points. Correct?
I have not rolled.
I don't
hit
know my
points.
modifiers yet, but
Okay.
1d4, right, Thief?
It's 1d4. Yep.
Come on. 4
What's your con modifier?
plus 2.
That's so nice. So you're a thief sitting at 6, which is amazing. So yeah. Okay, so Juice, what are your stats? And I'll tell you what your modifiers are. What's your strength?
10.
Nothing. No adjustments due to strength. What's your intelligence?
14.
So you read and write your native languages plus 1 additional language.
Where is
Wisdom?
That is that on my sheet somewhere or no? No.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the sheet, but there's going to be a place for special abilities.
There's a
That's
skill
where-
section.
So a 14 is a +1.
Yes, 14 is plus 1, correct. Plus 1 additional language. Yep.
Okay.
What's your wisdom?
13.
So plus 1 on magic-based saving throws. This is why we're not doing our saving throws yet, because you might have modifiers.
Gotcha.
What's your dexterity?
16.
So you are plus 2 onto hit rolls for dex-based weapons. You have a -2 adjustment to your armor class, which is good, not bad, right? And you have plus 1 to your initiative.
Okay.
And then what's your constitution?
Mine 7.
So you are -1, -1 points per hit die. And then what's your charisma?
8.
So you are -1 adjustment to reactions. Your maximum number of retainers is 3, and the morale of those retainers is 6.
How do you do that so quick?
It's just on the sheet.
Right. You're just looking at the table. Okay, so
Where's the
Drew, all your modifiers are there. Peter, do you have all your modifiers?
Yeah.
You're good?
I don't know where that table is.
Okay. Paula, do you have all of your modifiers? Are you good?
Yep.
Okay. So everyone now has their hit points. Everybody now has their abilities. Everyone has chosen their class, right? Peter, you're a thief. Juice, you're a fighter. Paula, you're a magic user. Or I'm sorry, you're a cleric. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Normally we would pick you some spells, but you don't have any spells at first level as a cleric, so we're going to save that until you level up once. Everyone is going to have 0 experience points at this point, right? Like you don't have any experience points at all.
Mm-hmm.
You want to choose an alignment? Do you guys know what you want to be?
I went with neutral.
Okay.
Oh, I'm totally
That's
doing chaos.
That's the old school choice. Everyone always went neutral because then you could go either way. Yeah, right.
Yep.
Paula's swinging both ways on this one.
Yep.
I went chaotic.
All over the place.
That way I can just randomly be like, I'm letting loose my arrow.
Yep. What are you thinking there? Drake?
I guess chaotic.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna have a chaotic party. This is
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to keep you guys under wraps.
But you're
I'm gonna have
neutral.
to
You're just
go
coming
like
along with us.
old school cleric on you.
All right. Now I need each of you to roll 3d6 one more time. Like just 3d6, and then
Dang,
you're
I
gonna
put my
multiply
dice
it by.
away.
You're gonna multiply this by 10, and this is gonna give you the amount of cash that you have.
Oh, I rolled 11.
So you have
110.
110 gold pieces.
Nice. That's a lot.
Big money. That's 8.
So you have
Okay.
80.
80.
You have 80 gold pieces.
9, so 90.
90 gold pieces. Okay, so now here's what you're gonna do. You need to buy equipment, right? So for Paula, for you, that's gonna be on page B12.
Yep.
Is gonna be the equipment list. Now keep in mind, you need to buy armor, you need to buy weapons, and you need to buy supplies like adventuring gear, because like none of this is assumed that you have it, right? For you, Juice, it's going to be
62.
Okay, yep. Well, it's going to be a couple different pages though, right? Like
Right.
it's going to be 62, I think 67 and 69 if memory serves me correctly. Hold on. Yeah, so 62 is going to be your weapons. 67 is going to be your armor, and 69 is going to be your adventuring gear. So yeah.
So how do I apply my five finger discount?
Yeah, unfortunately you don't. You
That
haven't.
happens in session 1.
You've yet to become a thief. You're just thinking about it right now.
Okay, I have those tendencies.
Yeah, exactly.
Is a warhammer a two-handed weapon or a
Warhammer is a one-handed
Okay.
weapon. So you could use a
That's what I
warhammer and a
thought.
shield if you wanted to. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, you as a cleric, you cannot use edged weapons.
Yep.
Paul. So yeah, no swords for you, no arrows for you. Yeah.
My first purchase, a short bow.
Good for you. You're going to be one hell of a dex-based fighter there, Juice. It's going to be great.
I'm excited.
Oh.
I'm very excited. I need a close weapon, though. Need to be a short sword. Everything's short.
Short.
Shorty Sherman.
There you go. Maybe that's why your con is so low. You're like a tiny little guy. Like people walk up to you and they're like, oh, I didn't know there were dwarves around here. And you're like, I'm not a dwarf.
Got Napoleon complex going.
Yeah.
All right. So the short bow. 50, 100, 150.
Guys, I'm about to have a backpack and nothing in the backpack except
Nice.
rations. I feel like that's what's about to happen.
So ENC is
someone
encumbrance.
needs to get the iconic 10-foot pole. So.
I mean, do I need a holy symbol?
So in basic, no, you
required.
don't need it in order to cast your spells. Moreover, at first level, you don't have any spells. So if I were you, I would wait until if you wanted a holy symbol, you certainly could get one. But I would wait until you leveled up and had some loot and you were able to go buy a proper holy symbol, right? So
Perfect.
Where the hell did I get that from? Oh, I wrote the wrong number.
you're really kind of, unfortunately, a cleric at first level is kind of a nerfed fighter, right? It's basically just a fighter who can't use edged weapons with lower hit points. So yeah, right. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at that because like it's just I don't. This is what we thought this was fun. Like it's challenging. So
Hey, I got some rope. I got
There you
enough
go.
money for some
50
rope.
feet 50 feet of rope is definitely a thing. I'll tell you. Here's what. You're a dungeoneer's, an adventurer's best friend, right? Iron spikes to spike doors closed so you can sleep for the night without shit like coming in and trying.
Wait,
to
we
kill
can
you.
do that? I'm just kidding.
Yes, you can do that.
We piled
so-
a bunch of dead bodies in front of a door once, and our DM told us we were stupid.
Well, no, as long. Hey, man, whatever it takes. To,
Actually,
like,
the whole
block
party
the
told
door.
me I was stupid.
So iron spikes were your best friend. The 10-foot pole is your best friend because pit traps, right? And 50 feet of rope was always like that, so you're playing smart, you're playing old school there, Paula. You're doing good. Pick neutral as your alignment and bought
Right?
50 feet of rope. Like, yeah, you're killing it.
Actually, I'm gonna get both the iron spikes and the wooden pole.
Yeah, I would.
And you know what? I got 1 gold piece to spare.
Nice. Keep in mind that there again, you're going to have at least one more player, maybe 2, and they're going to have some different stuff.
How'd
Here
you
is what
get
I will
rogue so
say.
quick?
There is not a single character in this party right now that has infravision. So if nobody bought torches and or tinderbox,
I
somebody
got
wants.
torches.
Oh, good for you. Good. See, look at you. Good
No
for you.
tinderbox. Dude, I'm telling you, I've done this before. You're like, he's over there like, how'd you do this? Like, there's like 10 things of equipment. Like,
Yep.
you only got so many choices.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Like, I can't use most of the weapons anyway. I only got like 4 choices.
Sometimes too many options is just, it's too much. It's overload. Like, it's easier with less options.
I'm buying
Yeah.
a war horse.
I said it, Juice.
So-
I said it's easier with less options. All right.
For clarification, my 2 languages, are those in addition to common, or does one of those include common?
So common is one. It's your native language. So common would be one, and then there's the additional one. But also keep in mind that you get you're going to get your alignment language as well. So yeah, and your alignment language doesn't count as one of those. You get the alignment language as a freebie. So
Okay, so I have 1 language to choose then.
correct. Yes.
Let's see. Lots of choices here.
There's not really. I think there's like 12 that you.
Yeah,
Can choose.
there's 20.
Okay.
20
nice.
choices. Hey,
Nice.
I got a good idea.
Roll for it. Yes.
That's what I'm
There
gonna
you
do.
go. See, now you're now you're embracing the old school. It's all tables.
Goblin. Okay,
Nice.
See?
Nice.
that's a very good one.
It's without any spoilers. That's probably going to come in handy too. I mean,
Yep.
everybody knows that. Like, right? It's first level basic D&D play. If there's no goblins, did you really play D&D? So yeah. Right. How you doing there, Juice?
So okay. So the EN means encumbrance, right?
Yes, sir.
So how does that work? Like, so if I have a strength of 10, what is my encumbrance?
So if you have a strength of 10, I believe it is like 100 pounds. I believe, but I'm not. I'm going to double check that right now.
I hope that's not right.
I think that's right though.
You ain't carrying any food.
I am carrying.
he's like, hold on, you guys. I know we're gonna be gone for a couple weeks, but the real question is,
Dude, my 2 weapons were half of that.
oh, I didn't even. This doesn't even have weight on it.
I can't even
so
carry a shield if that's true.
It must all be free.
It is not free. Hold on. Blah, 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 blah.
Like some of this equipment, like a pole is 100
So
encumbrance.
what is your strength?
10.
With a strength of 10, you have a 1,600 coin encumbrance, meaning you don't have any additional or any negative. So basically you can carry 1,600 coins versus of weight.
Oh, so that's what ENC in parentheses. CN.
Right, correct. Yeah. So you
Gotcha. Okay, that's a lot better.
so you have up to 1,600 coins that you can carry. Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm cool with that then.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried then at the moment. That'll change later. All right, I need some boots.
Well,
I got
it is
boots,
also assumed.
rope.
Wait, here's the other thing. It is assumed that you have you came into your adventuring career with clothing, so you don't necessarily need to buy boots. You don't need to buy
Oh, okay.
standard
Really.
clothing. Like you have that. You're just you. It's assumed that you have that. This is just your armor, right? So
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right, so I am going to take a cloak.
For the style effects, for the style points.
Long. Yeah, I might get creative. I'm trying to hide or something. With how great I am at Dex.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what was the encumbrance?
1,600 coins, which is not the same as pounds.
For a strength of 14?
Oh no, you're going to have additional.
Sorry.
For a strength of that's just basic. Standard encumbrance is 1,600 coins.
Oh,
With a
okay.
strength of 14, you actually have an additional 300 coins weight, so you can carry up to 1,900 coins worth of
Okay.
equipment and or gear. Where are you? What's your strength, Drake?
9.
Okay, so you might have limited encumbrance actually. No, you're at the straight 1,600. A 9 gives you no negative modifier. So
Okay. I'm gonna get some of these iron rations.
So the difference between standard rations and iron rations is that iron rations are preserved and will last longer. Here's what I'll say. Iron rations are pretty expensive. So depending on your gold count, I would go standard rations until like basically you get some coin in your pocket, right? What I'm saying is
Fine, I will
in
do
the
the smart
beginning,
thing.
armor and weapons are going to be more important than feeding yourself because you're not, you're essentially going to be in town initially, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Truth.
So
I need a backpack.
you can always get a sack if you're too poor.
I'm not poor at
That's
all.
what the poor people do.
I'm doing
They just
great
throw
already.
the
Guys,
sack
sack.
over their shoulder. Yep.
Because they're like 2 gold or whatever.
Yep.
Right? That's what you gotta do. Okay, so how do I know? I assume, what's my THAC 20? 19?
No, I think your THAC is 19. I'm going to verify that right now.
I've only spent 54 of my gold so far. I'm not bad.
Yeah, but what are you happy with your equipment though?
So far.
Oh, there you go. Then that's all that matters.
And I haven't bought my armor yet. I wanted to get certain equipment before I, did that.
I
I
hear
need the
you.
water skin too. So I'm at 55 gold. Okay. Now back to the armor.
Back to the armor.
Yep. So I've spent 55 gold. I still have another 55 gold.
Okay.
And that's with a shield already. So cool. Okay. So I could buy. Now, is there a weight or a strength requirement for armor? Like if I wanted to buy chainmail or banded mail.
You're fine. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Then I'm going all out, balls to the wall, banded mail.
Ooh, big bunny over there.
I know, big money, man.
I mean, plate mail would have been nice, but I'm sure we'll find it as some.
I don't even see
some.
banded as an option on my sheet.
Basic set. He's looking at the BECMI set.
Yeah.
The equipment is very limited in
It
the
doesn't-
basic. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I don't think I could afford it anyway. Let's just assume that. Because
Yeah.
I've got 1 gold piece left over and,
I
could.
you know.
Actually, you know what? It would make more sense to get rid of the shield and take the plate mail, wouldn't it? Because I'm gonna have a better chance to find a shield than plate mail out there.
Dude, it's totally up to you, man.
I know.
You are, but here's what I will say. Yes, you are correct in assuming that it's going to be easier to find a shield than it is going to be to find plate mail, without question.
Yeah.
What-
So I'm doing that, and then I'm topped out at plate.
What's the cost of banded? 50? What is that? 4 AC?
Yes. Yep. No. Yeah, but then plate is 5. So it's once, or I'm sorry. 3.
Okay, look, I can't
3.
afford.
She
Plate.
can't afford it.
I'm on a strict budget.
Oh, I thought you were
over
asking
here.
me like for some other reason. I don't know why.
No,
No,
she only
because-
had 80 gold, remember?
Right.
Oh, you're laughing at her. That's not.
I wasn't laughing at her for that.
So So I was wondering if I
So
should do the
no-
same, I guess, because banded is the same amount as armor and shield.
All right, I am broke.
That's
I'm
what I
not
was
broke.
wondering.
Are you like how much? Like what would you have to give up? I guess is what I'm saying.
In order to get banded,
Yeah.
I would just get it instead of chain and a shield. So I
Oh, I
got
see
chain
what
for
you're
40
saying.
and a shield for 10. I could just do banded for 50. I think I'm going to do that. Because I'm not going to get any sort of does Dex turn off with banded and plate? Or do you always get your Dex?
Yeah.
You always get your Dex, Paula.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It doesn't matter. I don't have one
You new
anyway.
school gamers, gosh.
Oh my gosh. Look, I'm the one who's done over here. I don't know what
What are you
y'all
talking about?
are
I'm done with
working
my
on.
equipment. I'm done
And
with
I've
my
Okay,
got-
equipment.
so
I've got my turning on here.
if
I even
everyone,
read up on it.
if everyone is done,
Uh-oh, Bill froze.
Uh-oh.
we'll go
Uh-oh.
through the THACO, okay?
Oh, okay. We're going
I'm
through
putting it on my
THACO.
sheet.
Well, no, we're gonna do saving throws first, then we're gonna go through THACO. So,
Oh, okay. Perfect.
so as a cleric, these are your saving throws. Are you ready?
Yep.
For death, ray, or poison, you have 11.
Okay.
For magic wands, you have a 12.
Okay. He froze again.
Bill,
Oh, I
you're
froze?
freezing. Your internet keeps
Yeah.
freezing.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. It's
It's okay.
not me. I'm in prison.
It's
I
fine.
apologize.
Turn to
Yeah.
stoner paralysis is 14.
Turn to stone of paralysis is 14. Dragon breath is 16. And then
Okay, that-
rod, staves, and spells is 15.
That's a pretty good guess with that 14.
Okay, Juice, do you have yours or do you want me to give them to you?
I put them down as they were, but I didn't do the modifiers. So the modifiers, are they in line with the stat or something? No, they're not.
So
So
you're
how do
12,
I change them?
So you're 12, you should be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, right?
Yes.
Magic based ones is where you get your bonus.
So on the spells or magic staff one and magic
Right.
wand?
On any magic based saving throw, is where you get your bonus.
So I would get a +1 because of my intelligence on those, or
I thought you
because
were
of
at
wisdom?
I thought that you were, and it's not intelligence, it's based on your wisdom, and I thought you
My
were
wisdom is a +1.
I thought you were I thought it was a +2, but okay, yeah. Also, Paula, you have a +2 on your magic based as well.
Correct.
You have a +1 based on your 15
Yeah,
with
+1. Mhm.
yes, right. So any magic based saving throw, you're gonna you have +1 to.
Okay.
And then Peter, do you have yours?
So it's based off wisdom.
It is, yes.
So I have a negative, so the number would increase.
Uh-oh, Bill.
Remember, we'll roll under.
You might want to start over, Bill.
Okay. So the number, it would go down. Okay.
Yes, right.
Oh, so -1 to all of these.
And I'm sorry, they have crappy internet here. I can't
It was great until the last
Just
5
keep-
minutes.
Just
Yeah.
keep going.
yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So does everyone have their saving throws at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. We are now gonna do to hit armor class 0. Juice, are you ready?
Yeah, my favorite part.
Okay. So everyone is to hit armor class 0, 19. So everyone can write that down.
On the far right in the chat, in the chart.
Where it says 0, it's gonna be 19.
And then 1 is 18.
Yep. And then 17 and 16, 15 up across the board.
Yeah.
You're going to leave it like that. You are not going to adjust that with your modifier. But you're going to add your modifier to your roll because you're like a new school gamer and that's what you want to do. So that's how
I want to know it, Bill.
This.
I want to know how to do this.
That's
repetition is key.
That's exactly how we're going to do that. So, like, I guess what I'm saying is, if you could do, right, if you were attacking with a bow, instead of a 19 to hit armor class 0, you would need a 17 to hit armor class 0. Like, do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But we're not doing that. We're going to leave it at 19.
So, okay, but again,
you're going to add your modifier to your roll.
Yeah. But I want to, so I don't want you to pamper to me as a new schooler. I want to do it correctly. So if we were playing right now and I roll my D20, what do I say? What do I do? Say I'm shooting my short bow. I know it's a +2.
If you're shooting,
do I just say the
Peter's
armor class
over there cracking up
no,
too?
It's not an armor class. It's an armor class is a defense. It's an attack roll, right? So if you were going to shoot your bow right now, you would like roll a D20 right now.
I rolled a 16 on the 20.
So then
Plus
you rolled
18.
18. That's exactly what you would say.
I'm just going to tell you 18.
Yeah.
So then why the fuck do I ever need to know what my THAC0 is?
No,
ever.
I need to know what your THAC0 is.
Right.
Okay.
Because you could also just tell him what armor class you hit. But he's just saying if it's an issue for you, you could just tell him what it is.
But see, that's catering. Or at least
what I'm saying is, even when you're playing 5e or PF2e, do you tell your players the armor class?
As a DM, no. But as a player, you do, because you're saying you hit an 18. That is the armor class you hit as a player. So that's why I was asking.
You could. And what I'm saying is, if you wanted to, right? Like, you could say, I hit armor class. In the
chat, it says, here it comes.
Like, you could say, I hit armor class 0, but you don't have to. Just tell me I rolled an 18. I'll figure it out for you in 1.75
What would be the expectation, though?
The expectation is tell me what you rolled on the dice and add.
Like if you were talking to Bill Allen,
that's how you play.
What would you want Bill Allen? What would Bill
tell
Allen
me
say?
what you rolled on the dice and add your modifier? I have never played a game of D&D, and no one ever has. I don't know why you have this in your mind where you go, I hit armor class. Even when you play 5e, you don't say I hit armor class 18.
That's how Paul
did it. You say I rolled an 18. Like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Paula,
no one has ever played that way.
Hear that, Dungeon Master Paula, when you're like, Paula would be like, which armor class did you hit? And I'd be like, I don't freaking know. No, which armor class? That's the problem.
I don't know how. I don't know why it's so confusing.
All you have to say is I rolled a 16. I rolled an 18. I rolled a 20. I rolled a 2. I rolled a 1. I dropped my weapon. Like, I
get it. No, look, Bill, I get this right at this moment, especially since our conversation the other night and everything. I get THAC0. That's not my problem here. I just want to know what would be preferred in the world of old school D&D for what people say. I feel like saying I rolled an 18 and the DM doing the mental gymnastics.
You always tell the DM the number.
Well, but everybody's like usually like the same though. Like it gets pretty close. Like usually it's like, oh, the majority of people are this or this. Like there's not. It's not like there's 87 different THAC0s in your party.
Well, no, everyone's 19 at first level, right?
Right,
like,
that's what I'm saying. So it's easy to remember
what I'm saying though is it's not that in the game of Dungeons and Dragons in general, right? The expectation has been, always will be, tell me the number that you rolled on the die with your modifier, whether that's a negative modifier or a positive modifier, right? Like,
then THAC0 doesn't ever matter. That's my point. So I don't know why it was ever made a big deal to even understand it.
It wasn't. You are making it.
I know. No, but Bill, you're not my problem. Like playing with you has not ever been the problem. It's been that Paula and like the other people I played with.
Oh yeah, it's all my
which armor class I hit, not what I rolled on my die with my modifier. That's all.
But it's
Whatever, like you're
I
just
remember.
blaming me for
what I'm
stuff,
saying is
throwing me under the bus,
Six on
running
one
me over
hand,
it a few times.
6 on one hand, half a dozen on the other. Like if you know, again, if you can do simple subtraction, you could do the same
But they
thing.
didn't
So
explain it in the past how you did yesterday. The way you explained it, I get
Right.
it. You
Right.
know, like
Well,
for
'cause
some reason it worked. I get it.
because it's really simple. Like it's not hard. Anyway. So yeah. So
See, even somebody else in the chat says telling the AC you hit is how we always played AD&D.
okay. So Abe, this isn't
Right,
AD&D.
rather than
This isn't AD&D. This is BECMI, but also and I played
Bus
AD&D.
Trip's wife.
I played AD&D.
Cameron knows what's up.
I played AD&D for, I don't know, 15 years, and we always said the number that we rolled on the dice. I don't like. I don't know anyone that said I hit armor class whatever. You just say I rolled an 18. Like it's on the DM to determine that.
Yeah, it sounds like your groups, because the DMs were really familiar with the system, they were able to just handle it no problem.
But what I'm saying is, I don't know anyone that said. I honestly don't know anyone that ever said,
sure.
like, okay, I rolled a 19. You don't say I hit armor class 0. You say I rolled a 19. Like I
like your way, Bill. I like your way. I'm cool with it. I've just had everything throw me off over the years, Paula.
All right, so we are
making our second character now. No.
So you have your THAC0, you have your saving throws, you have your equipment, you've chosen your alignment.
What would my armor class be? If it's 3 from the armor, do I add dex to that?
You have a -2 modifier, so you subtract. Remember,
so
lower the armor class, the better.
Right. So I'm a 1 armor class.
Right. The lower the armor class, the better, as opposed
you got fancy armor.
which is higher. Yeah.
I got plate plus my 2 dex.
Oh, screw you.
Well, plus
I'm gonna die quick.
Plus, he's got the awesome dex. So yeah.
I have 2 hit points, Paula.
Oh yeah, you screwed.
He does have. In fairness, he does have 2 hit points. So yeah.
Yup. It's gonna be great.
Drake, where you at?
I just have to check my equipment to make sure I can afford all this shit.
Okay.
And there's no thief can use a short sword, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are we gonna roll for the height weight stuff too?
Yeah, is that an option?
So here's the thing. You can. What I mean is you can define your own character. In other words, you could say I'm a little, I'm 4'9" and 87 pounds soaking wet, or you could say I'm 8 foot tall, and like you can say whatever it is that you want. If you want to completely randomize it, you can roll to see what your height and weight are. Yeah.
Okay. What page is that? I definitely want to roll for my weight.
So that is page.
I hope it's fat.
I actually think you should be super skinny. That's why you're dexterous, but your constitution is low. So
it'd be so funny to be like a fat guy though. Sumo wrestlers are pretty dexterous.
Yeah, they really are.
Is it page?
I mean,
12?
just like wrestlers in general could be.
True.
Mm.
All right, guys. I don't think I have a table.
You don't. So you're gonna have to let.
I'm just gonna have to tell you guys what I roll.
Yeah, exactly. So it is on page 12.
Okay.
How's it tell you to roll it? It just has.
Probably has like some sort of number times another
10,
number
10 for
or
humans.
plus another number plus times.
I don't see anything
4.
like that.
Usually it's like 2d4 times 5 plus 150 or something like that or whatever.
420 pounds of dexterity.
No, like I mean, essentially, you're gonna have to roll on the table and randomize it. What I mean is, so you can be from 4'10" to 6'4". So roll a 1, 2,
D10.
3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah,
D10.
roll a D10, and whichever one you end up with is the one you get. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Yeah.
5.
Oh
me.
yeah, you're right. My con should dictate it. So my con was a 7, so I'm going with the smallest weight.
Okay.
You're right. It just for me it makes sense. I'm frail.
I rolled a 5.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. No, I know. That's what I said. I said it made perfect sense what you said.
So if you rolled a 5, Paula, that puts you at 5'6". You're 5.5 feet tall. You're just kind of like normal. So
Perfect.
you're kind of middle of the road. Yeah, right.
All
I'm
right.
totally going 6'1".
Do I have an age or a weight?
You could do a weight if you want. Yeah, roll the same thing. Roll a D10.
6.
6 puts you at 1,400 coins, which is it's essentially 140 pounds. 10 coins per pound.
Okay. Age? Can I do that?
I don't think that you can roll for an age.
Okay.
I mean, I
Fair.
guess the thing is, you could just roll percentage dice, right? Like 1 to 100, and see, choose an age between there. But you might end up with some really odd results. Like, yeah.
I'm 6'4".
Nice.
Holy crap.
I'm going 6 foot, but the weight is gonna be 150 pounds. I just feel like that's a good weight for the height. I'm still small. I'm like middle of the pack.
You're basically like my brother.
Yeah, I'm a runner, but I'm
There
not
you
a
go.
distance runner. I don't have the constitution to do it. I like it. I'm actually kind of excited about him.
Okay. So now comes the most fun part of the night, right? Like, we got to name these bad boys. What are we thinking we're going to name? What do we got going on?
I got
here?
a
I'm
name.
Sloppy Sherman Woods.
Oh my god.
chaotic
Are you
fighter.
really?
seriously?
You're really going to go
Are
with
you
that?
gonna do that?
Okay.
Why
okay.
And the people think Woods is my real last name. It's actually my nickname.
Gotcha.
And
Oh, and your
Sloppy's
real
my
name is
other
like
nickname.
your real name is your secret that like you're gonna reveal on your deathbed or something as your character. Like your dying words will be like, my name
Not
is
even that.
actually.
So next session.
The
we'll
only
find out.
character that knows is the one that's going to inherit my magic items.
Oh,
Round
gotcha.
one.
Gotcha.
That's because he bought a permanent marker, which he used to label all of his items.
Sloppy Sherman.
Okay, I went with Astrid.
Nice. I like that. I like that a lot. That's isn't Astrid the head of the Dark Brotherhood in Skyrim?
Oh,
Oh,
I think
I don't
she is.
remember.
Isn't that Astrid?
That horse you got was so cool. I think
I don't know.
so.
Yeah, what was the demon horse? That was amazing.
Oh yeah, that thing was
Right.
great.
Paula
I
played
do,
as a
I like
rogue,
that.
so she never got the horses and stuff. I always had a horse. I'm like, screw that shit. I'm going everywhere quick. And she's like, I'm creeping everywhere.
Fast travel. Who cares?
Mhm.
All right. What do you think, Drake? What do you want to call your big thief?
Well, see, Cameron made a suggestion, so and I will take some of what he said. I'll be LBJ.
Nice.
LeBron James? LeBron James.
Larry Bird Jr.
Oh, jeez.
Just
Gosh,
goes.
you guys.
He just goes with those initials.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear LBJ's accent because, man, if it's not like a Southern, oh man,
Oh no.
You gotta pull out the big guns for that one.
Especially with my 6 intelligence and my I just know simple
In
common
fairness,
words.
That kind of sounds like LBJ. Like I'm
Isn't Larry
saying.
Bird from Indiana?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Okay, so we have LBJ, we have Astrid, and we have Sherman. We might have 1 or 2 more players, right? So hopefully you guys end up with a true fighter. You don't have a magic user, although that's not necessarily necessary. You do have a
Oh, my
spellcaster.
arrow strikes true.
You could also end up with an elf who really will be your spellcaster. We're going to kind of hope that one of them comes up with a spellcaster.
I hope we end up with 2 more thieves. I almost went thief just because of the decks.
A party of
Almost
thieves,
did.
although it's doable at first level, is man, that's rough, right?
There's
Like
a steal
4
from
hit
everybody.
points. So yeah, right.
Yeah, the hit points are the issue there.
Yeah.
Out of
So
money.
I think we're good. I think we have playable characters. I think we're all good.
Should we make the second character like you said?
You certainly can. I mean,
At least the stats for it, so, or should we just
certainly? Yeah, you certainly can. Yep.
Or can I just do we like you said that according to the book to will it to that character you have to do
Right.
it up front. I mean, could we just say we're doing it no matter what? Or
Yes, that's
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying. You don't
Oh, okay.
necessarily. We're just saying you're basically you're calling it, right? Like you're
Mhm.
saying my stuff.
I'm
is
calling it.
this person. Yeah, right.
And the next one will be a beefy, strong fighter. So
Depending on what your dice rolls are, buddy. Like don't
17
get ahead.
strength. You'll see. I roll perfect. Look, almost every stat I rolled started with a 6. I was doing well.
So I did a character. I've done a couple character creation videos on YouTube. And I rolled surprisingly well. I think for Solomon, I rolled an 18 strength. I couldn't believe it. It was my first roll out of the box, and I almost I almost crapped myself. Like
You
I was
talking
like,
about your sorcerer?
no.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your sorcerer in Tyranny of
talking about
Dragons.
a fighter that I rolled up. Yeah, no, not Sal Romanovich. He was Solomon Blood, I think his name was. Like I like Sal is my go-to name. So I ended up rolling really well for that, and it was kind of bad because I wanted it to come out to be really bad rolls because I wanted the video to be like, here's what you get, basically a basic experience when you roll 3d6, and I rolled exceptional scores down the line.
Right.
Okay, like so yeah.
Yeah, I've got plenty of room with my encumbrance. I'm good. I'm not worried.
Yeah, I think you're
I'm
all
at about half.
like right now. I'm gonna say I think that probably I think that you and Paula have super solid characters. Drake, I think that I'm sure you're gonna pull it off because I've seen you play Drake, and I'm sure you're gonna pull it off. But like you kind of have, you're starting at a bit of a disadvantage. So yeah, but that only makes victory more sweet, right?
That's
like
right.
You've overcome the challenges, and yeah, right.
Don't count LBJ out.
That's right. That is right.
Do you have any like limitations on like deities, or can I just make up whatever I feel like?
Yeah, so it's a weird thing in the world of Mystara. I'm glad you brought this up. This is actually pretty good, right? So you can make up whatever you feel like. Here's the thing. In Mystara, specifically in the known world, they don't really have gods per se. They have immortals, right? Like, so people who have achieved such great things that they've essentially become immortal. So think like you've leveled your character up to 36th level. At that point, you're pretty much immortal. You're not ever going to die. So they don't necessarily have gods. What I will say is you can pull, I don't care. You could pull from whatever pantheon you want to, right? Because we're not really playing the immortals set anyway. So any god that you have an inkling for, go for it. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or I could just make up my own.
Or you could
Okay.
absolutely make up your own.
Let's do that, because then I can just wing it.
Yeah,
as we go.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's great. Perfect.
And it's weird. So sort of backstory on that, right? And this is also the same reason I think why this is the version that they pulled out Lawful and Evil. This book came out in the height of the Satanic Panic, right? So they wanted to get away from any mention of gods because, with gods come demons and devils, right? So they pull the whole thing out. There's no lawful there's no good or evil. It's just sort of like, lawful or chaotic. They tried to pull, same thing happened with second edition. If you look at D&D first edition was filled with devils, demons. And if you look at second edition got completely sanitized and they pulled all of that, right? Because the Satanic Panic was real. It was a real thing. And so, TSR at the time tried to sanitize the image and pull that stuff back. So.
Right. Makes sense.
All right. So how do we all feel like about our characters? Are we
I love my character.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
So throwing it out there. So my guy's he's got black hair, brown eyes.
Yep.
He's not a loner, but he appreciates peace and quiet, solitude in the woods. He's been known to travel out of towns just to get some peace and quiet at times. But yeah, I don't know how do we want to tie our characters together?
Yep, that's the thing, right? Like, so here's the standard for Keep on the Borderlands. The standard is usually this. It's usually your caravan guards, right? So in other words, you make your way to the keep because you've all been hired on as a caravan guard. That's kind of the standard for Keep on the Borderlands, specifically for Keep on the Borderlands because of the nature of the module itself. What I will say is we certainly don't have to do that, right? Like if you want to have familial ties within the keep, right? If you want to have friends or family to or if you want to have friend ties or romantic ties or anything that brings you right to anything that will bring you to sort of the borderland, right? Like the border of known civilization. If you, whatever reason that you would like to come up with, I will certainly, just let me know what that is and I'll work it into the storyline, right? Mm-hmm. The standard though is caravan guard, merchant, like generally something like that. People sometimes want to be like, well, I'm a soldier that was sent to and it's like, no, again, you're a nobody. Like, I mean, you're first level, right? So, but I mean, if that's what you want, I could work it in. I could certainly work it into. I can work it into the story. I guess what I'm saying is, whatever you want to be, whatever your vision is, tell me what it is, and I'll cater to that. So, yeah.
Actually, so I don't have a problem with that. I mean, it would make sense that I was fronted money to buy my equipment, maybe, as long as I escorted a caravan.
So the money, the starting money that you have, and your purchased equipment, that is assumed. It's either that's
life savings.
It's either inheritance or life savings, or right. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that you were fronted the money. If you want to be fronted the money,
some of it was.
That can actually be kind of cool because then that creates ties to the story. You owe somebody something, right? Like, and how does the story progress from there? Like, no, I mean, like it's good. Yeah, it's good drama. So
someone said they just noticed, it was Melchior, that this module is credited to Gary Gygax. All hail the great Gygax. But BECMI is not a Gygax deal. Bill,
it is
do you want to elaborate for the audience?
Yep, absolutely. I certainly will. So Keep on the Borderlands is written by Gary Gygax. It was the introductory module that was included in the basic Dungeons & Dragons set. B1 in Search of the Unknown it supplanted B1 in Search of the Unknown, which was included in the blue set, the home set. Then when the Moldvay set came out, it was B2 Keep on the Borderlands. And then it was B2 Keep on the Borderlands going forward, even in the Menser red box set. However, this rule set is not Gygax, right? It is not. This is not Gygaxian D&D. Gygax is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And here's the thing: although everyone who played AD&D played this module, this is not an AD&D module. This is a basic D&D module. It says right on there. In fact, B2 stands for Basic 2. Basic Dungeons and Dragons. This rule set is really more of an Arneson rule set, Dave Arneson rules, although Arneson is not credited with this either. This is really, Frank Menser is given credit for this, although I think Moldvay played a lot into it. Moldvay was BX, and then the Menser rules are what started the basic expert. So Menser and David Zeb Cook started the BECMI, Basic Expert Companion Masters and Immortals. There really is no immortal in here, but it is Basic Expert Companion and Master. But no, this is not a Gygax rule set. In fact, this rule set is the result of a lawsuit that Dave Arneson brought against TSR over the Dungeons and Dragons IP. Gary Gygax created Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and tried to say that it was different than Dungeons and Dragons. Blah blah blah, blah blah blickety. What happened was
no, it's yada yada yada.
Right, yada yada yada. At the end of the day, TSR and Dave Arneson came to an agreement, and instead of getting 5% of AD&D products, they said they would give him 2.5% of the Dungeons and Dragons line, which they would publish in perpetuity as long as TSR owned the IP. And this is the result. Well, actually, the box sets, BECMI, is the result of that. And then when Wizards of the Coast bought Dungeons and Dragons, the IP from TSR, they paid off Dave Arneson an undisclosed amount of money, and they got the Dungeons and Dragons name back. And that's why Dungeons and Dragons is back to D&D and not AD&D, which also is a minor pet peeve of mine, right? Like, so when people say, like when people say D&D 1E, there is no such thing as D&D 1E.
Oh, yeah.
It's AD&D. It's Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition. Advanced Dungeons.
You always have to ask them which one are you talking about when you say 1E? Like red box, this or that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There is no
place.
So here's kind of how it goes. OD&D, right? Mm-hmm. Like OD&D, basic D&D, expert D&D. So BX in the timeline. It's like OD&D, Holmes basic, Moldvay basic, Moldvay Zeb Cook expert, then reboot, and advanced in that line. Mm-hmm. And then advanced was like a parallel line, right? The monster manual came out first, then the player's handbook, then the DMG. But those lines were parallel. They came out they were coming out at the same time. There was the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons line, and then there was the BECMI line, which really wasn't even BECMI at the time. It was only BX. Mm-hmm. Then there was the reboot, Frank Mentzer's Red Box, which restarted the BECMI line, which went Basic, Expert, Companion, Master, and Immortal. Two separate lines of products, and they get intertwined and interspersed all the time. And I think it's a shame, because I actually think that this is a better rule set than the AD&D rule set was. That's my opinion, right? Like, so yeah. So anyway.
Cool. And we talked about some.
By the way, wait, that was a fun fact.
Fun fact for you, Melchior. You can share that later.
Yes.
So we did talk about this on Persuasion Check last night. That will be coming on to the YouTube channel tomorrow morning. So it'll be tomorrow morning. So you guys can check that out. We talked for about 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, it was awesome. So we were talking about BECMI. We talked about 5e. We talked about a lot of stuff and how it kind of interweaves together. And it's me and Bill, so we had some tangents that went off. We had some fun disagreements too.
That wouldn't happen.
25 minutes on THACO alone. It was amazing.
Oh
also,
my gosh.
my video
my video
and audio was a lot better on Persuasion Check. I wasn't in prison then, so yeah. So
that is true. So okay, yeah. I mean, what does anyone care how we start? I'm fine with the
I'm fine with the prison.
I meant the escorting.
I know. I was like, wow, this is escalating quickly.
I'm cool with that.
That's fine.
Well, you know what? Why don't we do this? We have until next Tuesday, right? Well,
2 Tuesdays from now.
2 Tuesdays. So why don't
Peter plays next week on another
game. So why don't each of you just come up with sort of a background? And I don't mean you have to come up with a 2-page background. Come up with a paragraph, right? Like what's your character like, and we'll weave that all together. Let me know what that is, and I'll weave together a nice story for you. Okay,
I'm cool with that.
Sounds great.
Yeah,
I'll make Paula write mine tonight. No,
I'm just kidding. It's okay, because Paula do it and then just write a really awful backstory for him.
No, I think I already kind of came up with mine, so I'm good. I kind of already blurted it out. I like.
I'm super excited to start though. I'm really super excited to start. I've run Keep on the Borderlands, I don't know, dozens, hundreds of times. I don't like a lot of times. I don't think I've ever been this excited, and it's been a long time since I've run Keep on the Borderlands.
That makes me feel very special. I am glad you were this excited Let's run a game for me.
I am. I am super excited. I'm super excited just to see how you guys react to this rule set and how, you know, what you like, what you don't like, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah.
It's a cavern. I run the other way.
No, I was excited when it was brought up because I actually have the Keep on the Borderlands book.
Nice.
And I was thinking about rereading it because I'm like, wow, it's been a long time. I don't remember quite the whole story or anything like that. And then
Well,
this
don't read
came
through
up.
it now, Paula.
Well, I know. Now I started something different.
Yes.
You know, like my 7 books that I'm halfway through. It's great. I need
Exactly.
to continue doing that, but it's fine.
Awesome. All right. So I mean, I'm good. I think we're all good.
I think it was a good session 0. I think that we're all everything. Like, I actually think that this group, not just for this game, I think this group, like for the Tyranny of Dragons campaign, I like this group. You guys are a great group to play with, and I think it's good. So, like, yeah. So, and I honestly, the group I think matters more than the system.
Yes.
Always. So yeah, right. So yeah.
I 100% agree with that.
Yep.
Because the game's going to be whatever you make it out to be. So if you're having fun with those people, then it doesn't really matter what happens in the game because you'll make up something interesting.
I am so glad your perspective has changed in the last 7 years, Paula.
Oh my gosh, whatever.
Sci-fi. I don't want to play a sci-fi game.
I mean, sometimes though it's like harder. It's a little harder to follow though for me. It's less intuitive.
Yeah, but you've changed. You've
right?
enjoyed a lot of them since.
I mean, I spent like my entire childhood reading like old school fantasy stuff. So sci-fi, like, I don't know what I can do. Like, there's so many choices of things to do. I don't know what to do.
Information overload. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes more options.
It's not even the system
always
stuff,
equal better. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I only got a couple choices on things I can do, right? So, I mean,
not according to Bill.
Well, I mean, it's
oyster.
unlimited, options. But I'm just saying, like, I don't have to sit here look at the character sheet much.
Yep.
You know?
I bet you first session she's staring at her character sheet for 3 minutes,
Probably
trying to figure out
not.
what to do. It's coming.
Whatever.
It's coming. I'm gonna point it out too.
You don't even know how to roll correctly. Don't be over there hating on me for reading my character sheet.
Look, here's a die. 8. No joke. I just rolled an 8 on an 8-sided die.
Well, you should have rolled that when you rolled your hit points. I'm just saying.
I should have.
Fail.
But I'll take my 2 and I'll be happy with it. Or 4, I think. I think I rolled a 4. But yeah.
Also, I want to say Dave from Tactical Tokens, hopefully he will be in occasionally, right? But he's going to be playing on my side, I think. We're going to have him
however you do it, man.
Play NPCs and or BBEGs, which is going to be pretty awesome. Like, so, yeah. So
I'm fine with that. I can't wait to kill Dave over and over again.
That's funny because I'm sure he's thinking the same thing. It's probably like, yeah, wait to kill Juce, man. Like, so, yeah.
All right. Note to self: buy a fishing net. Good. Okay. Throw it and run.
So, I think we're good. I think that we'll hit the ground running. You know, the folks that didn't attend today, they can just sort of create their own characters. They missed session 0. That's on them. Like
I mean, we could do it again if you want.
There's tacit approval by missing. So yeah,
we could do another one of these with just them, like next Tuesday, even if they're available. I don't think Dave will be though.
I want to get started. Playing though. Like, you know what I mean?
No matter what, it's every other.
Well, it's every other week. So
it's all Peter's fault.
Gosh, dude, get it together.
Priorities, man. What
do you want to play, Peter? Come on, let's be real. Do you want to play? I think it's Stars Without Numbers, right? Is that the game you play on Tuesday?
That's
another
game though.
No, it's Descent into.
Fernia. Descent into Eberron.
Yeah.
Are you playing Descent into Avernus too, Peter?
Through Eberron.
Yeah, but it's in the Eberron setting.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So what city's sinking into hell then? Because it's not right. Like
Peter keeps the types of notes that I do. You know, only the ones that
like he's a
have
player,
sticking
yeah.
out.
I don't know. All I know is that it's like kind of steampunky and there's some Warforged. Oh, okay, cool. That that's that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he just shows up and rolls dice too.
Yeah, it's. I know Flamekeep has ended up in
Okay.
hell.
Okay. Okay.
And in the last game, one of our players died from failed grapple checks. He critically failed 3 grapple checks and died.
Ooh.
Ouch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of
Hardcore.
which, has anyone talked to Martin and do we know what he's playing? Well, we should. That's another stream. I'm
Yeah, we'll
I'm
work on
basically
that.
just chatting at this point. Like we should probably wrap it up now.
So that's
Yeah.
fine. Bill knows how to make a character in BECMI. He can make his own character.
Yes.
Dave, I think, knows it too, probably,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
yeah, they can make it on their own. If
Yep.
you are looking for something to do next Tuesday and you want to get on stream for BECMI, we can do it. If not, no big deal. We can wait until the following week and just play.
Okay.
You know, so it's all good. It is all
Okay.
good.
Okay.
And then I will be ready to slay a million monsters with my amazing character.
Nice.
Session 1, level 1, because that is so easy.
From
BECMI.
a distance of 30 to
50
40
feet.
feet. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
with your
50 feet,
2
right.
hit points.
right.
Hey, they don't call me Sherman Woods for nothing.
Oh, I don't have a ranged weapon.
See, you're
Well,
screwed.
you know,
You're
You
screwed.
don't.
is what it
Well,
is.
because you can't really do an edge. Like you could do
I could do a
a
sling.
sling. Yeah, right. So
You can throw rocks from the ground.
I mean, like, that's true,
you
but
could just pick up tiny little juice and
ooh, a
like,
sling
throw him
is
as a-
way too expensive for me. That's 2 gold pieces, man. I don't
Oh,
have that
man.
kind of money.
Can't you make one at that point, like out of your
just like
regular clothes?
I just tear some fabric off of your like robe or something.
Yeah. It just has to cradle the rock just right, and then you twirl it, and then you flick. You know,
Yep.
I don't know. I can't do it. I
Yep.
can't
Too rich for my blood, guys. I guess I'm just stuck with my Warhammer. I don't even know how much damage it does.
Nice.
I think it's 1d4. A sling is 1d4.
No,
All right, so-
Warhammer.
Oh,
So-
1d6.
All right. So tomorrow night, 8:30 till about 10:30, we will be painting minis. Paula has a Goliath Barbarian she's going to be finishing probably. And then I don't know what she's moving on to next. But we will be on here. We'll probably talk about our characters. We'll be pretty excited about that. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. We're going to be streaming every other Tuesday the BECMI Keep on the Borderlands game. We have other games on the channel, 5e games, Pathfinder 2e game coming up. Just all sorts of stuff on the channel. Call of Cthulhu we've done before. Just great stuff. So if you're interested in that, again, you can go back and look at the playlists. Would love to get some feedback on that. I'm always open to it. So with that, I'm Juice, and these are my awesome friends, Bill, my wife, Paula, and my friend Peter. Game on.